Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. I'm still in the kitchen of my in-laws here in Malaysia, and I'm so excited, so happy to be looking at the Xyber 9 New Dawn halfback battle tank. This is one of my toy grails. I've got one brand spanking new, boxed, and that cost me around about 90 odd USD plus shipping from and to USA. And then my super awesome sister-in-law bought this over for me in her case, and I'm very, very thankful because she bought a few toys over for me, and this is quite a big box and a little bit heavy, so that was really cool. Looks amazing. I've been after one of these for so many years, and to actually finally have it in the hand, it's fantastic. And it's really quite good because look, I can say I've now got an exclusive 4-inch Willy figure. Okay, so yes, I've got a 4-inch Willy. There you go, you can see it on the box there. So this toy line is from 1999, I believe. Do we have that on here? I saw on the Clod review I did 1999. 1995 even, I'm telling a lie. So this is almost 30 years old. So this is 28 years old, 27 and a half years old. Fantastic, got the tank, got the rocket launcher there, got the salvage claw, a thing can go inside, you get a figure on the top. Looks pretty cool. Very, very nice looking. So excited to actually have one. I've got all the big vehicles, so that's this tank, Jack's fighter plane, and Claude Hoover reviewed. And this one I reviewed, but you may not have seen that review yet. I may get all the bigger, let me rephrase that. I may get all the light vehicles, the 1/18 scale light vehicles. When about 20 years ago, I had all the smaller ones. There's actually another smaller one on here, which they're not showing, which is another plane. But these are all the big ones that they've done, the 1/18 scale. Figures don't really interest me. There's like, yeah, but the vehicles from this line are fantastic. Okay, I'm going to open this up, set it up, and we'll get into this. I'll be back in an instant. Okay, here we are, and first impressions, fantastic. There are a couple of small issues. Now, you see the guns look a bit bent. That's not a big issue because these are very rubbery guns. So to straighten out, it's not that difficult on that. So there are some rubbery parts. It is a battery operated with motors. These tracks do go around, but I don't have batteries. Let's get a look at this first. So in fact, first let's get a look at the figure. The exclusive 4-inch Willy, who does look pretty cool. He's a much nicer figure than I was expecting, and he's chunky. Pretty nice looking. Obviously it's a toy, legs a bit too bendy. Hips don't go out, or not meant to. But he has a good forwards, not really a backwards, has about 90 degrees in the legs, and arms are stiff that just go around, and the head is fixed. But not a bad looking figure, to be fair. Good toy looking figure. If I quickly compare him to the Colonial Marine from the Lanard is it APC I reviewed, he's far taller and far chunkier. He is 4 inches. So this guy really is 3.75. Okay, let's get a close look at the tank, and then we'll look at the features. So here's the front with that bent gun. Round to the side, we see the salvage claw on top. Round to the back. This at the back here is the battery compartment. There's forwards, off, backwards. Underneath, there's no real features to speak of as such, but don't really need it. This side, I love the coloration going along here too. This is your rocket launcher pod, and come around this side again. So features, the guns at the front do swivel, they don't elevate at all. Rocket pod, something hasn't been well thought out about this, and we'll look at that now. So this does turn, and it does elevate and go down, which is nice. You can open here, and you can insert your missiles, your rockets, whatever here. But what they haven't thought about is if you've got a rocket in, you can't close this. You see there's a little gap now, particularly if the rocket is at the bottom. Doing, you cannot close it. So that hasn't been thought out too well. So I don't know whether I'm tempted to, because you know it doesn't really shoot, you're supposed to push out from the back. I'm tempted to just cut off the top, paint them red, and just stick that and glue them in here so it can still close and have the illusion of rockets. But I don't know if I'll do that or not. So that's a cool feature. We have a cockpit we can open from here, and it's quite large inside and quite nicely detailed. But if you do put a figure in, their head will have to be towards the back here, because otherwise it's going to just hit. It's got to be inside the little hole here so it fits up. This part can be taken off, I'm not sure why, but it can exit. The hatch opens here so your figure can stand in, or their head can be there. He can't stand in there, have to be a skinnier figure than that. Push it back on. Turret does turn, it does elevate. What hasn't been well thought out on this is that there's no sort of cutout for the figure's feet. So if I do put this 4-inch willy here, it's going to stick out so high. And there's no handles on the gun, which is a bit of a shame as well. One of my favourite features, probably my favourite feature, is this salvage arm. So it does move around. Boop, boop. And what's really cool is you've got a button here, and it's a spring claw. So you can go, oh, didn't catch him. There you go. So you've got a nice spring claw for holding stuff, but the joint is a bit loose. They were ratchet joints, that would be better. But the fact they can fold up nicely and go down is pretty cool as well. Except on this sort of tank with this turret, it's going to shoot the claw all the time, trying to shoot to the left of the tank there. The other thing is these side parts, skirts here, can just be taken off quite easily. So you can have your tank almost looking like the Thunder tank from Thundercats. This here. I just wish I had some C-size batteries to put inside. That is really quite heavy. The motor is inside here. Very, very cool indeed. I do like this a lot. Very, very nice. Now to get an idea of size, I'll put the turrets back on. And then what I'll do first of all, I'll put this 4-inch figure, he's 4 inches next to it. You see that it is quite big that way. I don't have a tape measure here, and width wise looking at coming on probably 7.5 inches, I would imagine. And then height wise relatively similar, and then length wise is quite long. Length wise is going to be at least coming on 11-12 inches would be my guess on the length wise. Now if you want to get an idea of how this scales at other vehicles, so I just reviewed the Lanard APC from Aliens, and that is tiny. Look at that. It just looks like it doesn't belong in the same universe. It is so small in comparison, you can see there. But if you want to get a better idea, I've got the Jurassic World transporter, the gyro launcher transporter, which I reviewed a few years back, and this is a very popular vehicle. And these do scale well together. You see, even though this is taller, this is so much wider. And even though this one is longer, they could work in the same universe quite happily. So it's a very well scaled 1/18 scale vehicle. Yeah, it could be a touch bigger, and it may be, or I think it probably would be better without having the motorized treads, because you could get more depth inside, you wouldn't need the motors and so forth. And also these treads are rubbery, which means over time they are going to deteriorate to the point where you can't use them anymore, which would be a real big shame. So what I'll be doing after this video is putting it back inside its plastic, back inside its polystyrene, back inside its box, and hoping it will last a lot longer. But this is just absolutely fantastic. If you've got a sand colored team from like Acid Rain World, or the ones from Joy Toy, or even a new Planet Green Valley sand color, this will just work so well with them. Minor bit of paint work on it and it'll look fantastic. And even look at the wheels, you can see they've got some minor colouring, sand colouring on these nicely free rolling wheels. These are quite heavy wheels as well. It is a heavy toy regardless of the motors. The motors adds a lot of weight to the front, but it's good. Absolutely fantastic. There's probably some features I haven't discovered yet, and it looks like you could get access to the motor from here, but I don't want to risk that. It's just a very, very nice vehicle indeed. And you see that they are connected. I move one track, the other track moves as well. Great looking vehicle, really like that a lot. If I put, let's turn the turret around. If I put the figure in, I'll show you what I mean. It's very wide, which is fortunate because this is a fat Willy. This Willy is a fat figure. Yeah, let's get his arms up a little bit. Okay, there he is in. Head has to be back, so his head goes into that hole there. Closes nicely. But obviously he can't go through there where his head is because he is too thick of a figure, but your normal figures will fit through there nicely. It'd be nice if this part came open too, but bear in mind this is like 28 years old pretty much. It is a fantastically designed vehicle for 28 years. You imagine them doing a remake of this vehicle now, they could just do such an amazing job. It's such a good design. And again, I just love that claw. Just wish it was on a ratchet instead. The fact that it's spring-loaded too really is quite cool. Great looking vehicle. Really, really nice. It's going to go well with all your 1/18 scale, your 4-inch figures, particularly the sand color ones, or you could repaint this if you get one, but they're so hard to find. I've been looking for one for at least 6 years. I'm so happy to finally have one in hand now. Okay, this is Awesome Match Toy signing out, saying please consider joining the Patreon, link in the video description below. Like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye bye.